again. Okay, just a question before we start the session. Basically, I've never seen this many of you guys in this live session before. So 100 of you guys are here live. So my question will be, here's a yes, here's a no, just circle the answer if you like to answer. You're here because basically you can't really read price action in this current region, right? Just be honest. So it's a 50-50. Okay. Okay, thank you guys. So, some info before we start the analysis. Please, if you'd like to use your microphone, just raise your hand. Don't interrupt me. Don't talk with your microphone when I'm talking. And please just raise your hand if you'd like to use your microphone. I will ask you to use your microphone. Or if I'm asking something, you can raise your hand too. And you can only answer the question if I'm asking you to answer the question, because 100 of you guys are here. So just imagine when everyone starts to talk, it will be a noise, right? So if I'm asking something, just raise your hand if you'd like to answer the question, and you'll be asked to answer the question. And yeah, I won't be able to read the chat very often because the chat will be flooded. So it's easier to use your microphone. And once again, just raise your hand if you'd like to answer. Sorry, if you like to answer or ask anything. So let's just start the analysis on the 4-hour chart, right? No, actually, we won't start the analysis on the 4-hour chart. We will start the analysis on the weekly chart because we have to switch to the weekly chart. Why? Because basically price, Euro USD, not just Euro USD, everything is dying. Basically, the financial system is collapsing. Every single financial system, and basically everything is just collapsing, crashing. And just look at this. Just look at this. At this region, if price reaches this region, 1 euro will cost $1. So 1 euro will equal $1. This is just insane. This is just literally insane. Everything is crashing, everything is dying, everything is collapsing. And this actually, it's a double-sided knife. It's funny, but a bit sad to watch on live. So let me just switch to the weekly chart because right now we don't really care about the fundamentals. We don't really care about any fundamental thing. We only care about the technical analysis, right? Because with technical analysis, we can just trade. So just look at this weekly chart. Yeah, guys, actually, Hungarian forint. If you'd like to make money, from Forex, just literally buy anything else over the Hungarian forint. So if you just take a look at the dollar Hungarian forint chart, basically $1 worth 400 plus Hungarian forints. Like 5 months, 6 months ago, it was 300, not 400. And literally, Hungarian forint is just dying. If you like to make money in Forex, just buy anything over us, over the Hungarian forint. But let's just stick to the Euro USD chart. And let's see what has happened here. So this is the weekly chart, right? This is the less recent data we can, I mean, not less recent, but the latest data we can get from the Euro USD chart. And it's from 2002. So basically, or data starting from here. And as you can see, price almost reached the starting point. So price is really fucking close to the starting point of this data. And what can we do with this information? Basically, we have to find a demand zone from 2002 because this is a 2002-2003 region. We have to find the demand zone from 2002. And we are currently in 2022. We have to go back 20 years to find the demand zone because this is how much the financial system is collapsing. This is how much Euro USD is collapsing. Everything is just crashing. Everything is just dying. FXCM has still 93. Okay, we will check. If we go below this point, we will check the FXCM. Right now, we are sitting with you on that. So let me just check the weekly chart. As you can see, price is currently at this region. And we just place a marker here. And let's see what demand zone can we find in this region. And the last recent demand zone we can find is here. This is the closest weekly demand zone to your price action because price has just broke below the last recent demand zone. Here was the last recent demand zone on the weekly chart, and price has just simply broke below this demand zone. Also, price has just broke below the last recent weekly low point. Here, as you can see, This was the last recent weekly low point that has caused the change of character here to the upside. Basically, this was a strong low point. This strong low point has been broken, but we can actually title it as a weak low point too, because it couldn't break above the last recent high point here. So yeah, price just keeps breaking through demand zones over and over again from 2002. And it's really fucking crazy to say. It's crazy to say that price is breaking below demand zones from 2002, but it is what's happening. So the only thing we can do is to mark this weekly demand zone out. I will mark this weekly demand zone out, remove this marker from here. And yeah, here was the price, here was the marker. And as you can see, price is just currently filling up this inefficiency. There's nothing else below this demand zone. Basically, there's liquidity below it. So we still have a chance to see the break of this low point too. We still have a chance to see the liquidity sweep of this low point too. And we still have a chance to see the tap of this extreme demand zone from 2002 May. So and it's crazy to say, but we have a chance to see the top of this zone, and we have a chance to see that price will worth, I mean, €1 will worth less than $1. And if price reaches this zone, this demand zone, €1 will worth less than $1. And once again, it's just crazy to say. It's just fucking crazy to say, but it is what it is. So we have a less recent weekly zone. We can expect that price will continue to free fall down to this weekly zone. We can literally expect the free fall down to this weekly demand zone. And if the weekly demand zone tap happens, God knows what will happen next, because we can't really predict what will happen, because just look at this chart. Price is just in a free fall. Price is literally creating a free fall and breaking into demand zones over and over again. So the safest way in this trend is to literally open a short on any kind of 50-minute supply zone. Literally, that's what you can do, because price is just falling down, reacting on 50-minute zone, falling, breaking below demand zones, breaking below demand zones, breaking below demand zones, and God knows what will reverse this fall. Literally, the next recent zone that has a possibility to reverse this fall is this one. If this zone can't reverse the fall, then euro will be just dead. Euro will literally worth nothing. If this zone can't reverse it to the upside and create some pullback, or at least reverse the trend to the upside, then price will break below this zone too. I'm 100% sure if this zone can't reverse the fall, then we'll see the end of euro. it's just fucking crazy to say this, but it is what it is. So let's just switch to the daily chart. Basically, on the daily chart, we can see the exact same thing, right? But the daily chart is the exact same thing. Price is just creating a free fall over and over again, reacting on supply zones over and over and over and over again, creating free fall movements, creating huge inversion movements to the downside over and over again. And it is what it is. It's happening. It's happening currently. All we can do is to find a rejectional point. We can find a rejectional point on the daily chart somewhere around here, or just find the last recent daily demand zone at this region. And if the daily demand zone is being tapped, we can expect a reversal, and we can expect a pullback to the next recent daily supply zone, which will be this one. I will mark it as the last recent daily supply zone. So here's the last recent daily supply zone for us. And if the supply will be tapped after a rejection here, so if price rejects on some daily demand zone, and if the supply zone is being tapped, we can expect the continuation to the downside. We can expect the continuation of this bear trend. And if you remember, I've said it 2 or 3 months ago that I'm expecting the weekly 2070 low point to be broken. I was expecting this scenario to happen weeks ago, months ago, maybe half a year ago, because it's just a clear bear trend. It clearly shows that nothing can stop this. And also there's a war going on, right? So there's a war going on, there's inflation, everything is going on, and it will actually equal the dying of euro. But I won't get into fundamental things because we only care about the technical analysis. So let's just stick to the technical analysis. And once again, as I said, if price can react on this zone, and there will be some demand zone at this region, I'm 100% sure. If price can react on this zone, then you'll be able to look for longs after this supply zone, after this daily supply zone, and continuation down to this demand zone. And this is the daily perspective. This is the weekly perspective. This is what we can expect on the real higher time frame chart. So let's just find the demand zone at this region. Yeah, we have to scroll back a lot. Oh my God. So the last recent demand zone is literally this small candle here, but I will use this candle as a demand zone because this candle in itself won't be counted as a demand zone. I will count this as a demand zone, these 2 candles, and this is the last recent daily demand zone that we can find at this region. Just look at the size of these candles. Just look at how bad these are looking compared to the current price action. No wicks at all at these candles. Just look at the current candles. This is how a real chart looks like. And this is just terrifying. This is just sad. This is just pure sadness that we have to go down to this region. So let me just extend this zone to our current price action. Here was another zone, right? It just broke below this weekly zone. This was a weekly candle also. And here was a refinement inside of this candle that we broke below. Okay, let me just zoom in. And yeah, basically this session will be around this. We have to just scroll between the price. And that's what we will do in this session. So here was this last recent weekly demand zone. That price just broke below without even stopping on the daily chart. So there was not even a reaction on this demand zone. Price just tapped this zone and broke below this zone immediately and just continues to fall below and continues to come down to these demand areas. So I will just keep this demand zone on my chart and see if there will be a reaction of 4-hour zone. But on the daily chart, that's what we can see. This is all what we can see. So let me just drink a sip.
Archie, do you have a minute in Hungarian?
Sorry?
Do you have a minute in Hungarian?
What?
Do you have a minute in Hungarian talk?
Igen?
Betelt a Zoom meeting, maximum 100 ember, és kicsit marcik a general chatbe a fiúk.
Igen?
Mit mondják, hogy majd bejönnek, hogyha kimennek a többiek? Vagy a maximum 100 fős az ingyen meeting, és elértük a 100-at, és nem tudnak belépni a waiting
roomba. De ez nem
sem.
ingyen meeting.
Akkor nem tudom, mi van, de elértem, maximum kikikkeli őket.
Ez nagyon király.
Sorry guys for interrupting the meet. Just maximum people reach the Zoom meeting limit.
Yeah, guys, actually it was strange because, yeah, as I said, I've never seen this many of you guys in this session. Basically, in every single session, I just see 40 or 50 or 60 people maximum. And I have a 100 limit on the Zoom package. So I can only let in 100 people in the Zoom meetings. But if this will be continued and more than 100 of you guys will be joining into these sessions, I will have to upgrade to a higher package. But in the past, there was no meaning of upgrading to the higher package because I haven't seen more than 60 people in these sessions. So yeah. Please, Tamás, just write this down to the people in the general chat.
Okay, I'm on it.
Okay. So sorry, guys. Sorry for interrupting me. And let me just continue. Basically, that's what you can see on the daily chart. And someone said that these demand zones aren't relevant. And you're right. From 2002, there won't be any orders on these zones, right? There won't be any resting orders on these zones. And that's why it's really, really hard to trade in this kind of price action because you can't do anything besides then short. You can only short price basically and wait for supply reactions. If there's a supply reaction, just sell. If there's a supply reaction and if there's a change of character on that supply, you can just sell because basically this is our plan right now. This is our plan currently because on these demand zones from 2002, 2003, you can't really find relevant orders. Just imagine who the hell waits 20 years for the orders to be triggered. So there aren't any orders on these zones. There can be orders. People won't wait 20 years for the orders to be triggered. So yeah, it's really, really hard to and tough in these times to trade, but it is what it is. We have to adapt. Let's see what happens. This is the daily chart. If price can reverse from this region this region or anywhere from this region, and it can reach this daily supply zone, or any kind of 4-hour supply zone inside of this region, or any kind of 50-minute supply zone, then we'll be able to look for short continuations to the downside. And yeah, this is our major plan currently. This is our major plan. Let me just switch to the 4-hour chart and let's see what has happened on the 4-hour. I will just delete these zones from this region because it's literally pointless to keep these on my chart. So deleting everything from this region. And this is the 4-hour chart. This is the 4-hour chart. Maybe we will switch to the 4-hour trading because it's just crazy what's happening. So yeah, there was a reaction on this demand zone, as you can see. Price has just reacted on this demand zone, created this kind of a 4-hour supply zone up here. This is the less recent 4-hour supply zone that you can find. And this supply zone has liquidity below it. This will be a 15-minute liquidity right here. I will mark it on the 15-minute chart. You'll see that this is a perfect liquidity. And that's all again on the 4-hour chart. That's what we can see on the 4-hour chart, nothing else. This is what we can see on the 4-hour chart, basically. Yeah, price is just falling. Price is just falling, free falling to the downside, going to hell. This is what we can see. This is what we can expect. Literally nothing, right? We can expect a pullback to a supply zone. We can expect a free fall. We can expect a pullback to the supply zone. We can expect a free fall. This is our plan. This is what we can expect from price currently. There's no other options. There's no other scenarios where price will just break above the supply zone, blah, 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 go down. There's no other scenarios because price is in a huge free falling trend. Nothing can stop this trend literally. If this high point breaks, if this supply zone breaks and price can break above this supply zone, then we'll be able to see the reversal of this trend. But currently, no signs for the reversal. There's not even a single sign for the reversal of this trend. So we have to go with the trend. We have to just simply go with the trend, which is extremely short, which is extremely bearish. If we go with the bearish trend, if we go with the short trend, I believe we'll be fine. I believe we'll be able to find good opportunities. We'll be able to find good short opportunities down to these demand zones, or even just scalping 1 to 5, 1 to 10 risk-reward ratio trades inside of the 50-minute zones. So that's what we can do. This is all about the 4-hour chart. This is all we can see on the 4-hour chart. Let's just see the 15-minute chart. Basically, this is the 4-hour zone that we are expecting a reaction on. This was the reactional flip zone that has reacted on this demand zone from 2002. React on this zone and flip this zone. Here's the flip movement, and here's the liquidity built up for this zone. And basically, you could say that this liquidity line has been swept, but more liquidity has been created here, as you can see. So I would say this is more liquidity. I will call this a small liquidity because this wick couldn't sweep all of the stop losses from over this supply zone. I mean, from over this liquidity line. So the stop losses may be located somewhere around here at this supply zone. Right, just imagine if you're shorting here, if you're shorting here, if you're shorting here, where will you place your stop loss on the 15-minute chart? Somewhere around here, right? You wouldn't use this small of a stop loss. You wouldn't place your stop loss at this line. So basically, this week wasn't sweeping the liquidity from above this candle and from above this candle. It has swept the liquidity from above these candles, from above this double, triple, 6 equal taps. So this was liquidity. This has been swept by this candle, but more liquidity has been formed at this region. More liquidity is here, built up for this supply zone. So we can expect this sweep of this supply zone. I mean, this liquidity on top of this supply zone. But God knows what we can expect in this price action region because price just keeps falling. Okay, so 15-minute chart. The only problem here is that we can't go back on the 15-minute chart to find any relevant 15-minute demands on this region. We can't go back. The lowest time frame that we can go back is the daily chart, and we found the daily demand zone down here. We can't find the 4-hour demand zone. We can't find the 15-minute demand zone. We can't find the 5-minute demand zone in this region because there's no allowance of the data. You can't find the data about this kind of a demand zone in this region. So we will have to be satisfied with this daily demand zone, and we have to satisfy with these zones. Okay, so let me just mark this zone out, and once again I will use the full body right here, not just the wick zone, because the wick zone is so small. This is a less recent supply zone that has caused the less recent movement. It's not even a structure breaking movement. It's not even anything. It's not even a supply zone. It just caused inefficiency. And if there's inefficiency in this trend, we can expect a reaction on this zone. We can expect a change of character, and we can expect the cancellation. This is how our plan looks like. This is how our narrative looks like. And basically, I just feel like a clone because I'm sitting in front of my monitor. I'm just watching at this price action, and all of you guys are sitting here with me, and we are just looking at this price action. But there's literally no point of looking at this price action. There's literally no point of staring at this kind of price action because it's untradable. It's literally untradable. It's unnecessary risking of your capital. It's unnecessary risking of your capital. So yeah, this is the last recent supply zone that we can expect a reaction on. If price can reverse, strangely, if price can reverse up to the supply zone with a retracement, which I don't see any kind of possibility to. So I believe price won't be reversing up to the supply zone. But if it happens, so if price reverses up to the supply zone and creates a change of character, simple 1 minute change of character on the supply zone, just a simple 1 minute change of character, you'll be able to enter in a short trade and basically short your USD down to this zone or down to the 90s zone. Okay, so this is what you can see on the 15-minute chart. Nothing else. Price is just falling, keeps falling, keeps falling, keep falling. Yeah, this isn't the lunchtime zone. This isn't the lunchtime zone. Oh, you meant, yeah, if price creates a lunchtime zone somewhere around here, just short from that zone. No, I'm not serious, guys. But literally, if price can react on any kind of higher time frame zone, if price can react on any kind of zone, any kind of supply zone, and create a confirmation on any kind of supply zone, then you will be able to enter on that zone. You will be able to enter on that zone with a confirmation, because just look at this, what price is actually doing. Just look at this, falling, 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 falling. But right now, it's just super duper falling. It just literally keeps falling and falling without a stop. So yeah, if price reverses somewhere around here with a miracle and reverses on the supply zone again, then you'll be able to execute a short trade. But if it breaks, if the supply zone breaks, I won't say that you can safely execute a long trade, because it wouldn't be safe executing any long trade in this kind of a trend. So executing any long trade here would be super fucking risky and unnecessary to execute, because you can't execute a long trade in this kind of a short trend. You can. When price is reaching demand regions from 2002, you can't just open a demand trade. You can't. Oh my God, guys. Let me just read the chat. Hi, Marcel. Do you think of changing currency pairs for such times? No, I will never change Euro USD without further explanation, without further studying the pair. And currently, I don't have any knowledge about, for example, GBP USD. I don't have any knowledge about gold. I don't have any knowledge about BTC USD. So no, I have to backtest the pair. If I'd like to switch, and if you like to switch to other airs pair, you have to backtest that pair. Okay. So if you like to switch from Euro USD to GBP USD, you have to backtest and gain data about that pair, because the characteristics of GBP USD is completely different from Euro USD's characteristics. So all you have to do, if you like to switch between pairs, to give yourself time and backtest that chosen pair for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. That's all you have to do. Gain enough data about that pair, gain enough live data, gain enough backtesting data, gain enough case studying data, anything about that pair. You can't just simply switch that pair without even testing that pair, and you can't just switch to live trading that pair without getting backtesting data about that pair, because every single pair have different characteristics. Every single pair have different characteristics. For example, Euro just likes to respect the decisional zone. GBP USD has like to respect the extreme zones, for example. Every single zone, every single pair has different characteristics. So yeah, can I just switch to the 5-minute chart? Should I switch to the 5-minute chart? Is there any? I can't remember word. Never mind. So okay, 5-minute chart. What can we see on the 5-minute chart? Basically, there's a refinement of this 5-minute chart of this 15-minute zone. Here's the refinement of this zone. There's liquidity built up for this zone. Very nice liquidity, but I don't think that this liquidity will be swept, because there's still very nice amount of liquidity everywhere, and price just keeps falling, falling, falling. So yeah, but if some miracle happens, if a miracle happens and price reverses here, sweeps the liquidity and taps this zone, and once again creates a change of character, then you'll be able to short. But second scenario, if price breaks below this low point, here creates another supply zone, so there will be a new supply zone, and reverses after the supply zone, the same goes on, you can execute a short trade to the downside. This is our major plan currently. This is what we can see on the charts. Nothing else can be seen on the charts, because price is currently peaking at 2001, 2002 regions right here. Price is peaking at the 2002 regions. Just say it in yourself. Just say it in yourself. How strange it is. How strange it is to say. So yeah, I believe we won't be able to trade on this week anymore. So it will be better to take this week off. It will be better to go on a vacation, every one of you, because I believe we won't be able to see anything on this week on Euro USD. It's Adam, it's pointless to switch to the 1 minute chart. It's literally pointless. It's just a liquidity pool. It's just a liquidity pool. You say that this situation is much better than 2008. Sorry guys, let me just check the Discord. Okay, let me just write a message to the live session channel because some of you guys couldn't join to the channel, but right now 6 seats are free, 5 seats are free, so 5 of you guys can join. So let me just read the message quickly to the Euro USD channel, not Euro USD, sorry, live sessions. Okay. Okay. So I'm here. Oh, okay. And here's the draft. And here's the draft. Let's just check the high impact news. There will be 2 high impact news in this session. So basically, price will just, and that FOMC. There will be an FOMC. Basically, at this FOMC meeting, price will just keep falling, free falling once again. This meeting will just destroy euro. This is, I'm 100% sure that this meeting will destroy euro. So guys, actually in this session, we can't do anything else but just chit-chatting and talking about things, about trading. No, I won't be able to cheat on euro. I'm just trading euro. I don't want to start to become, I'm sorry, I don't want to start to backtest any other pairs. I don't want to trade any other pairs. If I have to wait 1 week for this trade, if I have to wait 1 week for a pair, I will wait 1 week because I know how Euro USD works. I'm trading on Euro USD for the 2nd year straight. I'm only trading Euro and USD for the 2nd year straight. So it's literally, I don't want to switch. I don't want to trade other pairs. I know how this pair works. I know what we can expect on this pair. And if I have to wait a week, I will wait a week. No, I will never use the seconds chart. Why will I? We have high confirmations on every single zone. Yeah, I can explain the range sweeping content. Yeah, let me just find an example for the range sweeping content. Milfman I love Forex posted an image about that content. Let me just find that and explain it. So can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. So range sweeping content, not content, the concept, sorry. I'm tired. So range sweeping concept. basically, I've explained this concept in every single other webinar before, basically in 4 or 5 different webinars, but let me just explain it once again. So if you have a range, right? This is how a range looks like, liquidity on the upside, liquidity on the downside. So we have liquidity here on the upside, we have liquidity on the downside. Let me just find these and mark this out. Liquidity on the upside, liquidity on the downside. This is what we call a range. This is a range. This can be happen on any time frame. This can be a 1-minute range. This can be a 5-minute range. This can be a 15-minute range. This can be a 4-hour range on any time frame. This concept works on every single time frame, on every single 5-minute, 1-minute, 3-minute, 15-minute, 4-hour, daily, weekly. If you see a range, this concept will be live. You can expect this concept to happen. So what is the concept? Sorry, not just these kind of liquidity ranges are acceptable, but these kind of ranges too, where price is just creating this pattern. So this is liquidity on the upside, this is liquidity on the downside. So these are 2 kind of ranges. You can expect this scenario if price forms these kind of ranges. So the first scenario, if price sweeps the upside liquidity, what will happen after the upside liquidity sweep? I'm asking a question. You're raising your hand if you like to answer. What will happen after the upside liquidity sweep? Who did raise their hand first? It was Aftab Khan.
The market will likely to go down after this. After the sweep of highs, it will go down.
What do you mean it will go down? Just be more precise, please.
After the liquidity, after the range has been swept towards the upside, means highs has been swept, then a market is likely to go towards the downside and sweep the lows of the range.
Exactly.
Low side of the range.
Exactly. That's what you can expect if price sweeps the upside of the range, because there's a rule. We have a rule for this. If there's a range, both sides of the range will be swept sooner or later. And this rule goes on in 100% of the times. If there's a range, the range high and the range low will be swept. For sure. Range high and the range low will be swept sooner or later. Maybe it will be swept in 1 minute. Maybe it will be swept in 10 days. Maybe it will be swept in one year, but it will be swept. And more likely, it is being swept sooner than later. So we can expect a sweep. And basically, we are using this concept more likely on the 15-minute chart and the 1-minute chart. On the 1-minute chart, you can use this for entries. So if price sweeps the downside range too, then what will happen? What will we have? We will have a supply zone somewhere around here, right? Right? Because there's an upside range, there will be a demand zone, and that's swept the upside range. And if the downside range is being swept, then this demand zone will be broken, the downside range will be swept too, and there will be a supply zone that has swept the downside range and that has swept the demand zone. This is what we can expect. How's next? If price creates this kind of a movement and sweeps the upside and downside, upside first, downside second, then we can expect a reaction on this supply zone. If we are on the 1-minute chart, we can put an entry limit order on this supply zone. If you are on the 15-minute chart, we can just simply wait for a reaction on this zone, wait for a change of character and continuation to the downside. But as I said, this is an entry model for the 1-minute chart. If this happens, then you'll be able to place a limit order on this supply zone and continuation to the downside. What is the other scenario? Other scenario, please mark it on my screen. Anyone who raises their hand first. Michael? I believe it was Michael, right? No? Aftab Khan?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
So on the second scenario, we can have to the upside.
Just show it on this one. Sorry. Second scenario of the first example. So this was the first scenario. What is the second scenario that could happen? No. The downside range is still there. Sorry,
So
I deleted your drawing. Draw it once again, please.
After price sweep the sell side liquidity, it will change direction on the upside.
Exactly. And you can expect to trade on this demand zone because the same scenario goes on. Downside liquidity is being swept. That means there will be a supply zone. If the supply zone is being swept, there will be a demand zone because if a supply is being taken out from the market, then a demand has to take out the supply. If a supply is being broken, a demand will be formed. This supply is being taken out, this demand is being formed. Liquidity is being swept, no other liquidity needed to be taken. You can aim for higher liquidity areas. There will be higher liquidity areas. For example, there are triple taps at this region. You can aim for these triple taps, or there will be a triple tap, sorry, and this will be a liquidity region. You'll be able to enter on this demand zone that has caused the sweep of this supply zone. Entering it here, you can aim for the liquidity. This is how a range sweeping concept works. Remove your drawing, please. And here's an example for this, that one of our members backtested this concept, and he has found it really, really effective. So as you can see, here's the example on the live chart. Here's a range. Upside range, triple taps, right? Downside range, here, liquidity. Downside range is being swept first. So liquidity is being taken out, meaning there will be a supply zone that has caused a sweep. This supply zone is being taken out, and the upside range is being swept. This means this equals that a demand formation will happen. Price will form a demand zone here at this region. If a demand zone is being formed, you can just simply use the or entry rule. If the 2 stop loss can cover the zone, you can simply use the 50% entry right here, which has perfectly worked out. No other liquidity needed to be taken, so you can aim for higher price action areas. That's all. This is how this concept works. This is how this concept works, right? Upside range, downside range, sweep first, upside range, sweep second. Cancellation on this demand zone, cancellation. So yeah. And yeah, of course, the same goes on for this kind of a scenario. This is a range too. The same kind of scenario goes on. If the downside is being swept first, upside is being swept second, then you can expect a cancellation on this demand zone. If the upside is being swept first, downside second, then you can expect a cancellation on this supply zone. Exact same concept that you can expect on. Sorry, let me just switch to the 1 minute chart because the supply zone has been tabbed. Okay. Supply zone has been tabbed. Perfect. Now we can wait. I'm just reading the chat, and I will stop the recording because I said I will just only record the pre-session analysis and not the whole live session. So the recording is now being stopped.